Like, it's crazy, man. Guys, you see, when you come into a new house, I feel like this is, you see, when you move from one house to another and you actually go into another house, like when you move into a new home, basically, that's how it literally feels. I know I'm touching the mic. I'm fidgety because it's my first time actually recording in this studio, which is going to be our next family. But the other guys in the next room are making such a noise. But anyway, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Assimilation Podcast, where we dive deep into the latest trends, discussions, and ideas shaping our world. I'm your host, MJ Mpoyi. Join me as I talk with experts, thought leaders, and fascinating individuals from all walks of life to bring you a fresh perspective on the issues that matter the most. Whether you're a curious learner or a passionate professional, this is the podcast for you. So sit back, relax, and get ready to be inspired, educated, and entertained. This is the Assimilation Podcast. Now, you might probably be wondering about the statement I made earlier, like, where am I? Or where am I recording? Why does my background change? Why is everything looking different? Well, there's only one way to tell it, man. There's only one way to say it. We got a new family. Sesichenjile. Zinto zichenjile, mai. Uyangithola. Obviously the podcast is growing. For some odd reason, I'm excited. And I don't know why I'm super excited. But anyway, I don't have a guest today. So I wanted to come on the platform or on the podcast and actually tell a story. Because I told myself, everything that I'm planning is literally, I feel like the podcast is that type because I'm literally like, I'm on spring break right now. But then I feel like the podcast, the way it works, it's like everything is literally, it's going with my school calendar. So when I take a break, literally everyone who I was supposed to be interviewing are either gone on holiday or they unavailable because they're spending time with their family. And so I wanted to keep uploading because I told myself I was going to be consistent at some point. So, and it's practically this year. I'm trying to be consistent at least till July to like upload each and every Friday. So here am I. But with that being said, I've been adopted. The podcast has been adopted by a new family now. I don't think if I can say the name of the studio where I'm doing because my manager's going to kill me about branding and putting their name out there. But so basically, you're probably going to see this studio quite a lot. And I'll probably try to make it like fit in with the theme of the podcast. But yeah, this is going to be our new home. So if I'm not recording in my usual setting, I'll be using this studio right here. But anyway, man. So today, on today's episode, I wanted to come on and tell a story. And I thought, I have so many stories. And when I wanted to choose this specific story, I thought about like, MJ, are you sure you want to retell that story? Because there's so much going to be, people might take it out of context and other people might change the way they're going to look at me. But I want to make it clear the reason why I want to be able to tell the story is I want to bring value. And I've always believed that the reason for this podcast was to bring value to the people that are supporting us. By the way, we've reached 300 subscribers, and I'm grateful to everyone that has been sharing the podcast, everybody that has been reposting the podcast, and everybody who actually subscribe and take the time out of their day to actually watch us, because you guys mean a lot to the platform. You guys are the reason why I keep coming back, and I'm actually taking this seriously. And actually, I actually wanted to sit this one out and be like, when I'll have a guest, that's when I'll record. And then management, and I call them management because each and every time I don't upload, you guys are on my case telling me, MJ, why aren't you uploading? What is going on? So literally, so thank you guys so much. I can't thank you guys enough for the help that you guys have given us. It's giving us hope, and it's literally showing that the work that we're putting in and the efforts that we're putting in is not being wasted. People are actually receiving the work properly, and I get reviews. I even get texts sometimes of people saying, "Do you remember something that you said on the podcast? This is how I reacted to it." So, or this is what I was going through, and what you said reflected with me that it really helped me, and that's the reason why I actually made this platform. It was just I'm just a voice. I don't know how people see me. I'm just a voice. I'm just a guy with a passion for the mic who took a mic and said, "Okay, somebody's going to bring value to the youth, and if it's not me, then who then?" So I'm just a voice bringing value, and that's the reason why we decided to call it the Assimilation Podcast, a voice for the young people. So basically, let me jump into my story, right? You guys are probably wondering what story is MJ going to tell you guys today. Well, story cut short. Do we want to do this, MJ? Story cut short. I repeated grade 3 like about 3 times. Now, you guys are already wondering, bro, you repeated grade 3 like 3 times? I'm going to take you guys on I intend to make this episode short, very short, because this is like a sit down talk. What do we call this segment? Sit down with me. Ooh. Okay. You see, that's the function way. Anyway, sit down with me. So basically, sit down with me. Let me explain. I repeated grade 3 times. So basically, when I was growing up, I was obviously born in the Congo, the Democratic Republic of the Congo. I grew up in Congo and went to school in Congo in Lubumbashi, Katanga, the province of Katanga, the city of Lubumbashi, up until I was 10. And so I basically studied like my early years in Congo, and then before I moved practically. So when I started school, right, I've always had an older brother who is like a twin to me, right? So we were basically in the same class. So I was young, but I was too smart for my grade. I don't know if it makes sense, but I was too smart for my grade, and then I had to start school with my brother, who is like a year older than me. Okay, so my parents put me through it. I was doing well. I was, getting those good grades with. Now he's 1 year older than me, so obviously when the teachers were seeing my performance, they were like, "Okay, he can actually cope. He's able to do what these guys are actually able to do." So mind you, I wasn't only a year. I was 2 years ahead of the people of my age. So technically, I was like, they were seeing me doing good stuff, and my parents were pretty much impressed with my academic performance at the time. And so they were like, "Okay, maybe we should put him in the same grade as his brother." Okay, they put me through tests. They did a few things. And I was, because my parents had put in the work, and me being surrounded by a lot of older siblings. And obviously, I think it's a thing. It just rubs off you when you basically surrounded with people, that they're already ahead. You kind of learn quicker. And I was young at the time. I believe I only had a younger sister. At the time, she was like the last born, if I remember correctly. Yeah, at the time she was the last born. And so, okay, they put me in the same grade as my brother. Now, mind you, people, when I used to be young, I feel like now I'm chilled. When I used to be young, I used to be naughty. Oh my goodness. I can't even fathom that. I used to be super, super duper, duper naughty. Like, I don't know how to explain it, man. I don't know. Do you guys know the people in class, like those kids in class that nothing? I used to be naughty. You know the people in class that they just They're just naughty. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. But whatever you can think of, when a child is probably like 8 or 8, is it? When a child is probably like 6 or whatever, is probably doing the naughtiest child. I was that naughtiest child, and mind you, I was like the second last born. I was so capricious, like to the core. I was literally my parents' last born at the time, so I was super capricious. I was super naughty. Would always get away with things, but as soon as I started school with my brother, reached grade R, which is kindergarten. I did okay. Grade 1, which is year 1, I did okay. Grade 2, I did okay. Come grade 3, that's where the problem was at, you know. So basically, come grade 3, okay, I'm still naughty, but now I'm not just naughty. Like at this point, I'm just overly capricious. Like they would do things like if a teacher tells me not to talk in class, I'll just be that kid who's capricious. All of a sudden, I'm angry. I don't want to work. They will be like doing tests and doing these kiddie stuff that get marked. I don't want to do it. And then my brother, who was older than me at the time, he was, coping because he wasn't that much of a capricious guy at the time. Or he's not capricious at all. But I was like, oh my goodness, I used to be a baby, bro. Now that I think about it. And then I wouldn't do anything, and then I failed the first year. After I failed the first year, obviously, you know black parents the way they are. And of course I'm gonna put it out there. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna try to be like, how every parents are or anything like that. I'm just gonna say, how black parents are. They're gonna tell you, you always ask for this, we give you. No, we give you, but this is you didn't even do well. Now you guys might be thinking that I was young, I'm lying. That's not what they were saying. Trust me, believe me when I say the talk with black parents doesn't change, bro. It doesn't change. Even if you're 8, they'll tell you a kid of 8 years old is doing this. Look at what your other friends are doing. No. Mind you, I was 3 years ahead or 2 years ahead. So when I failed, and then I was like, no. When I failed, I was like with the people before my age, and then I redone grade 3 the following year, and then now I was coping because my parents told me, you need to focus, boy. You got to stop being capricious. And I felt all bad because all of my friends went to a next grade. And I was like the only one who remained behind. And you guys know the feeling of when like you walk into a next class the following year and all of the teachers are like, hey, you kid. We already know. You in my class. Just come to my... Congo used to be the pits, y'all. And then they're like, hey, you kid, you in my class, we already know. Just come to my class. No. So this year you're actually going to work, right? And then they were giving me that. I'm like, I'm going to work. And then I think after the grade 3, I did my grade 3. And my parents decided, out of the blue, they decided, you know what? We're actually going to move to South Africa. Now, that's where the funniest part, the trickiest part comes in. So literally, if you know the European system, which they use in Congo, they use a European system or the school calendar that begins in September and ends in July. So literally, I ended my grade 3 in July, and in South Africa they use a whole an annual calendar system, which school begins in January and ends in November or December, early December. So literally, I moved like in July, August. And so when I arrived on the other side, I couldn't stay at home for the remainder of the year, like 5 months at home. My parents were like, no. And it's in a whole new country. You need to learn how to speak English. So there you go. Boop. They throw me back into school. So I literally had like, because we usually used to get like 2 months or a month of holidays. I think it's 2 months. So I did the 1 month, and then August, boop, I was supposed to be back in the South African system. Now, my first day at school, I go to school. Now, they were trying to see like my level. Mind you, I come from, I was in a higher grade because my level was like quite nice. So now I come, they tell me, okay, they tell my parents, bring your child. We're just going to ask him a few questions to kind of see what's the level he's at, so that we can kind of see, because they saw my grades and they were like, okay, but we have a different policy in the school. We kind of asked questions and stuff. Now, mind you, while going to school, I was like kind of asking my brothers and my parents, like, okay, how do you say, can I go to the toilet in English? And they would tell me, and I would repeat that over and over and over again, because I didn't want to be sitting down in the class pressed and not be able to go to the bathroom. So I'm like, okay, sitting down, na. And then that's basically it. And that's where my problem comes in, right? I asked my parents, how do you go to the bathroom? How do you say, what do I respond when somebody says hello? Nah, like they were teaching me the basic stuff on how to actually communicate in English. And so I would go to school, and this, it was my mom and my older brother. So my older brother's there, and they asked my older brother, okay, so we see he's actually quite of age, but we're just gonna ask him questions to kind of see if he can't answer the questions, then we'll probably feel as if he doesn't have is not able to do the actual grade 4. So I was supposed to be going to grade 4 or 4th grade. So basically, there was that. And so they asked me first question. So they're like, what's your name? Man blanked out already. I'll never forget this day, y'all. Believe me when I say I'll never forget this day. They're like, what's your name? Man blanked out. Totally bleaked. Like, boop. I don't know. Mind you, my parents told me, when they ask you, what is your name? You say, my name is Mutombo. Now, this lady walks up to me. She goes, what's your name? So basically, instead of her saying what is, she said, what's your name? Now I'm confused. I'm like, is she asking for my name? What exactly is happening? And then I couldn't answer. She had to ask the question twice. And on the third time, she said, what is your name? And then I was like, my name is Mutombo. And then she's like, oh, okay, I see. Language barrier. And then back I was in grade 3 again. And I got so mad. I remember going back home. I was so mad at my brother. Like, I was so mad, bro. Like, I wanted him to fight at least, because the moment they said, okay, he definitely has there's a problem of language barrier, and we're probably going to have to put him in grade 3 again just so he can kind of catch up. Now, mind you, when she said that, she wasn't just saying that because I was just going to do that part of school for the grade 3 and then next year go to the 4th grade. Nah, fam. She literally put me back in grade 3, and me knowing nothing, obviously I couldn't keep up with the work, or I couldn't do anything. Directly, I failed again, grade 3. And then I had to do it the following year again. And so the people that were actually of my year when I moved to South Africa, the people that I found in grade 3 at that time were actually the people of my age. And so when they moved, I remained because of the language barrier. I was so mad, bro. But I think the lesson that I've actually learned is, you don't get to choose. Um, you don't get to choose where you fit in this world. You just have to adapt to your immediate environment. We all have a kind of vision of where we want to be, but it's not up to us. All we have to do is adapt to the situation we are in and see how we can work with that and better the situation. And so, till this day, I'm big on perspective. I'm big on how somebody looks at a problem and is able to come up with a solution. And I think that's the most important lesson that I've learned. I look back at the years in my life, and I used to be so regretful before. I used to be regretting at the fact that the people of my age are doing this. You see now they doing their life. I'm supposed to be. I actually struggled with that my entire academic year. Actually, it stopped like grade 11, grade 12. That's when it actually stopped, and I started accepting at the fact that you've been put in the situation that you're in, or wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You just have to adapt and find a way to better yourself. And that's how I've been living my life. And I want to put it out there to kind of bring hope or bring some type of value or some type of motivation to say you're in the situation you're in for a reason. You need to learn to adapt and to see not the problem as the way it is, but to have hope and to have a better, in some sense, of how to better, to have hope or some perspective of how to better your situation. So literally that has been it, and that's what I wanted to share with you in today's episode. I didn't want to make it longer than it was. I actually wanted to make it 20 minutes, but I'm happy that we found ourselves a new home, a very welcoming home, and a very, very soothing, I can say, a very comfortable home. But I hope, because I and you guys might be wondering why this type of message? Why do I want to bring this type of message out? I speak a lot with people, and people literally confide in me a lot about certain things, and I feel like it is only up to me to try to kind of like bring some sort of solution. And my solution, I can't do anything. I can kind of only bring hope and try to give hope with the words and try to motivate people. I'm only a voice, like I said in the beginning, and that's all I want to leave you guys with. You're in the situation you're in. You've been put in the situation you're in for a reason, and the situation you're in is not the problem. You need to find a way to adapt and try to better yourself from where you are, and not look at what others are having or what others have going on for them. I think we can end it off here, because I kind of feel like I said what I needed to say. But yeah, for today, this was a sit down with me, let me explain segment, literally, right? I think we've reached kind of the end, because I've said everything that I wanted to say. Thank you. I won't stop thanking you guys. Thank you so much. I mean, I've had organizations reaching out to me that they want to actually work with me. It's only because of you guys, because you keep watching and you bring value. As much as I bring value to you, you bring value as well, because I read each and every comment, each and every text that I get to say, okay, keep up with the good work. I see what you're doing. Nah. So I'm grateful. I'll forever be grateful for that. Thank you guys for always tuning in and showing support. And I can only promise you guys that I will make the platform to be better and to always bring a positive light to you guys. And that's what we are here for. We're not here for anything else. So thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Assimilation Podcast. I hope you learned something of value today. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on your favorite platform. We'll be back next week. We'll definitely be back next week with more thought-provoking conversations and insights. Until then, stay curious and keep changing the world. I've been your host, MJ Mpoyi. Till next time, goodbye. We out.